There once lived an ancient tortoise named Tibu, who had seen more sunsets than any creature in the forest. His shell, worn and cracked, carried the weight of time itself. For as long as anyone could remember, Tibu was always the last to arrive, always the one left behind. The other animals would often tease him. "You're too slow, old Tibu. Time waits for no one." They'd laugh as they dashed ahead, leaving Tibu in a cloud of dust. But the tortoise just smiled, his eyes twinkling with a quiet wisdom. One day, the animals gathered to hear an announcement from the great owl. Perched high on a branch, the owl's voice echoed across the forest. "A grand race will be held tomorrow. The winner will receive a magical fruit that can make anyone young again. It's your chance to turn back time." The news sent waves of excitement through the forest. The thought of reclaiming youth, of erasing the years, was irresistible. Even Tibu was intrigued. The hare, known as the swiftest in the land, mocked him. "Hare, Tibu, you wouldn't even make it halfway before sunset. Why even bother?" said the hare. But Tibu, with a glint in his eye, simply said, "Sometimes the fastest way isn't the straightest path." As the other animals sprinted ahead, Tibu seemed to move at his usual unhurried pace. The forest whispered and chuckled. How could he possibly win? But Tibu had a different plan. He knew the forest like the lines of his shell. While the others charged straight down the path, he took a detour, one that only he knew. It was an old trail, overgrown and winding, but it was a shortcut that would save him precious time. Meanwhile, the other animals found themselves worn out, gasping for air. What was supposed to be a clear route turned into a treacherous maze of fallen logs and thick brush. They had run themselves straight into a trap, one that time had slowly built while they raced to defy it. To their surprise, it was Tibu who reached the finish line first. The magical fruit lay within his reach. The others stumbled in, one by one, eyes wide with disbelief. How did you do it, old Tibu?" they asked. The tortoise looked at them and said, "Time is a trickster. It fools you into thinking you have to race against it. But sometimes, to outsmart time, you have to let it flow around you like a stream. I didn't need to beat you. I only needed to know the right path." As the others watched in awe, then the tortoise did something unexpected. He left the fruit untouched and said, "What good is turning back time if you've never truly learned from it? The real treasure is knowing that each wrinkle, each scar, tells the story of how far you've come." And with that, Tibu turned away, leaving the magical fruit behind. The other animals were silent, humbled. They realized that Tibu hadn't just outsmarted them. He had outsmarted time itself. Sometimes the slowest path reveals the deepest truths. And in the end, it's not about how fast you go, but about the wisdom you gather along the way. Sometimes the slowest path reveals the deepest truths. And in the end, it's not about how fast you go, but about the wisdom you gather along the way. Tibu's choice to leave the magical fruit untouched emphasizes that true wisdom comes from appreciating life's experiences. The scars, wrinkles, and stories accumulated over time are invaluable and reflect personal growth and resilience. Attempting to erase or avoid the effects of time might rob us of these precious lessons. If you loved Tibu's story and found its wisdom inspiring, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't miss out on more thought-provoking tales and life lessons. Turn on the notification bell so you'll always be the first to know when a new story drops. Your support means the world to us. Let's embrace the journey together.